Have a safe race, guys. You have 5 laps.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Claudio here, and we are back at Prospect Park on April 14th at the Castelli series. It's a circuit race. This is a Cat 5. We get 5 laps, and each lap is 3.4 miles. So we are off. This is my second time here at this course. Last week I did pretty well, stuck with the group until the very last hill, and got dropped in the hill. This week, something very similar, but I managed to put a really big effort on the last hill. The group was really strung out, so I don't know if it counts that I finished with the group. I finished with, like, stragglers, but very good outcome on this one. I was really nervous coming into this race because I was sick all week with a cold. So I actually rode my bike a total of an hour and a half on the trainer at at most like 70% effort. I did one of these workouts that I do, but an hour and a half over the course of a week, and that's gonna make you nervous going into a race. So I was a little freaked out about that. Didn't know what to expect from my fitness. Luckily, I was okay. I didn't feel a lack of fitness, really. I think maybe the lack of fatigue in my legs was a good thing. I don't know. So as you can see, the heart rate is not there. My heart monitor was out of batteries or something. Anyways, I didn't miss it. It's not like I'm looking down and checking my heart rate, but it's cool to look back and be like, oh man, I really peaked here, and I was really relaxing more than I thought I was. It's just, I find it cool to look back at data. That's my thing, right? I'm into looking back and analyzing the data. I don't look at it during the race. Very rarely do I look down at my Garmin. I'm just too freaked out about, look at me moving up and coasting. Okay, I use my brakes a lot less in this one. So I'm moving up here. But anyways, about the data, I don't look down at my Garmin, except maybe once or something, just for the hell of it. Well, I'm moving up. Check this out. Okay, last week I was riding the brakes the whole time because I was scared, but I'm less scared now. I figured some things out, like don't brake as much. I still braked. I still kind of got yelled at once. But you see what happens when you don't brake? You move up like 10 spots. And I don't know what the deal is, why I was moving up so fast, because I'm not a heavy rider. Weigh 156. By the way, I'll put my stats up right here for you guys. I weigh 156. And but I think my bike is fast downhill. I got the 60mm carbon wheels. These things just rip. So I think I have a good bike for the downhills. I don't know if it's such a good bike for the uphills. I mean, it's fine, but it might be just slightly heavier than somebody who's like a pure climber. Again, it's no big deal. The only thing I notice it is in the downhills. It's awesome. So I'm here drafting. I'm trying to conserve energy. I'm feeling pretty good. Actually, I'm feeling very good. My whole thing on this race was just try not to brake as much. And I did. I braked like 50% less than last time, which is huge. You see, I'm kind of just moving to the side a little bit to avoid braking. I'm really figuring it out. Here, it's like we're kind of battling for that slot, right? So, okay, fine. He can take it, and I try to. I think there's somebody like right to my right, yeah. And I gotta slot back in. There I am. So there's a lot of that going on in races. You know, who's going to close that little gap? Are you going to slot in? Or are you going to hold your line? Or are you going to let the other guy take it? Times like this, it doesn't matter because it's you know, like the first lap. Who cares? But it can get competitive. You gotta be strong out there, especially when it gets maybe last lap or so. People are really territorial. All right. So far, it's chill. I'll put these workouts that I've been doing. They work great. I got a couple of them that I'm doing every week. One called sprints. 10-minute warm-up, 20-minute zone 2, then 30 minutes of sprints. So 15 seconds of all-out max effort sprint, then 245 easy spin. So cycle through that 10 times in 30 minutes, and then a 10-minute cool down. Another one, sprint settle. 10-minute warm-up, then 4 times 15 minutes of 3 minutes easy, zone 1, zone 2, 7 minutes alternating 30 seconds easy and 30 seconds sprint, hard effort. 7 minutes of that, then 5 minutes of a steady, strong effort. And that's killer. After your legs go through all those sprints, and then you got to do, like, for me, it's like 200 to 250 watts. That hurts. And that really sets you up for these kinds of races. So that's what I've been doing to get ready for this. Here we're coming up the hill the first time, and people really hammered it. The first lap, there was a surge. Everybody's got fresh legs, so they hammered it. Look at me, 500 watts, like, whoa. I got a wheel, luckily, so I only need to do 400 watts. But we're going up this thing 22 miles an hour. Bro, that is insane. If you go and cycle, if you go and cycle on your own, it's insane, because it's like you're maxed out at like 15 miles an hour. You can't imagine going up the hill this fast. Now I got a really nice draft, so I am hanging on here. Again, only 400 watts. No big deal here. Of course, I'm dying. If you could see my heart rate, it would probably be in the 180s. My max heart rate is like around maybe 190. I'm dying, but I'm not dropped because I got a draft. I got a nice draft. So I learned that I gotta up that hill. You can't go on your own. You gotta find a wheel. Here I am trying not to brake, going to the side a little bit. Just holding on to this solid draft here. Look at me, like 0 watts. At some point, so you get a draft, you got to find a good wheel, but then that wheel kind of gets old. Like, you know, maybe the rider starts to fade, or they do something else. Maybe they're not reacting, so you got to switch. You got to bounce around. It's one of the things that I realized once I found a good wheel. I felt like just staying on there forever, but you can't do that. You see, now there are people passing us because things are happening. Things change. Maybe that's not the best wheel anymore. So there I am, and I need to find something else. Are we gonna get left behind? So here, what's going on? I think, at this point I thought we were getting neutralized. So I kind of slowed down, but then we didn't. So now I bridged this little gap. So again, this whole thing about data, if you're into data, and if you like power meters and data, then go for it. Do data, do power meters and power zones and all that cool stuff, you know? If you're not into that, if you're into riding by feel, ride by feel. You don't have to get a power meter. I know like 90% of the people out there do, but you don't have to if that's not your thing. I would recommend trying it. But do what you like. Do what works for you, what makes you happy. We're supposed to be having fun out there. I'm into looking at my data afterwards and seeing like percent increases and gains. All that stuff is super cool to me. So that is one of the really attractive things about cycling and technology and sports and running also, you know, all that stuff. Paces, speed. So if you're into that, go for it. If you're into just cycling because of the spandex, go for it. You know, just buy a bunch of outfits and that can be your thing. Whatever, just have a good time. We're all in here amateurs. The whole point is to have a good time, and we can't forget that. Here I am, the downhill. Again, moving up. This time it's a little tricky. I don't want to go to the left because you're not allowed to go on that channel. So I'm kind of stuck. I need to brake a little bit. Sometimes in these positions, it's scary. You can get boxed in. I believe I got boxed in once, and I had to just really like grab a handful of brakes, and I pissed somebody off behind me. But I had to. I was getting like closed in. Sometimes it feels like it wants to go like single file or 2 in 2s. And you're kind of in the middle, like no man's land. You're like not behind somebody, you're like in between people. It gets weird. So you gotta find your way. Like this is sort of weird a little bit, right? I'm like, should I go straight and get that wheel? Okay, so I do, but now it's like kind of tight, you know? And I tell the guy, I'm on your right, so he knows not to make a sudden move. See, like this is sketchy, like it feels sketchy to ride like that. So I back off a little bit. A lot of the races like that. Who do I get behind? What wheel do I grab? When do I switch wheels? Like somebody said in the comments, you're either moving up or you're moving back. You're never just like hanging. You're never just still. Like you have to be consciously moving up, or you're gonna be falling back. So everything should be like moving up, moving up, moving up. I gotta move up. How do I go up? Whose wheel do I grab to go up? If you lose that mentality, you're moving back. Maybe you want to move back a little. That's cool. But that's what I noticed. You have to constantly try to move up, or you're falling back. Let's see what we do up on this hill. I need to get up. I need to go and ride it. Climb. Just climb like once a week. Hard. Like Bear Mountain style. Those of you who know New York area, that's like the place to go to climb. I've never been. But maybe I'm going to start doing it once a week. Then this little tiny hill will seem like child's play. I can knock it out 400 watts, no problem. So if anybody knows of any kind of group rides in Prospect Park, let me know in the comments, because I need to join a group ride. I'm not going to be able to do these races on the weekends because I'm working on the weekends coming up. So I need to find some kind of ride to get some more experience in. If I could race twice, 3 times a week, I would do it. But let me know if there are any rides or anywhere in New York, preferably in Prospect Park. Or maybe people just want to get together, you know, maybe like five of us, Cat 5 riders, similar fitness, want to just ride, go out and do like 5 laps in the middle of the day. I work from home, so I can go to Prospect Park in the middle of the day whenever I want. Or in the morning, whatever, before work. You know, the 6 a.m. life. I could try to do that. But if anybody wants to do that, hit me up in the comments. Maybe we can start a little group if there's enough of us. Maybe try some pace lining and drafting and just try to hammer out some laps at speed. This hill was chill. It was totally chill, right? Like 300, 350 watts. Stayed maybe under 20 miles an hour. Nice draft. The pack did not surge. So that's pretty much the race. Stuff like this happening. Nothing too exciting. I'm not going to comment through the whole race because I just run out of stuff to say. But those of you watching who are new, this is a cool race. It's not, you won't get dropped so fast if you're a beginner. Not like those other races that I was racing at Randall's Islands, which were insane. This you can hang a little bit. So get out there and race, right? It's okay if you get dropped. I've been dropped, I don't know, 15 times in a row. No big deal. It's all good. And now I'm in there. I'm hanging. Basically, I don't know if this counts as getting dropped, but I made it. I made it through the race, pretty much. So if you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe. A lot more videos like this coming up. For those of you who leave comments, thanks for doing that. I don't get to everybody, but thanks a lot. I read them all. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate your support. If you come out, say hello. I have the neon green, yellow Cannondale. You can't miss it. Say hello. It'd be great to meet you guys and girls. And leave me a comment and subscribe. Until next time, see you out there. Peace.